You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Somebody stop that guy! He just robbed me! Hey kid, a little help?
Not my problem.
The story of Amazing Spider-Man 2 takes place 2 years after the Amazing Spider-Man 1. You're treated to an opening scene as Peter Parker reenacting the events that made him turn himself into the Amazing Spider-Man. The game feels a lot better than the first Amazing Spider-Man, as they reinvented the controls, gave it new schemes, new themes, new actions, and new side quests. Although a lot of the Spider-Man games seem to be the same, this one actually stands out from the rest. With the variety of different versions of Spider-Mans we played in the past, this one brings a refreshing twist and brings it back to what made it so successful. To my surprise, I actually felt that this game was better than the Amazing Spider-Man 1, which I actually wasn't expecting.
Hey Larry, these guns are heavy. How about a hand?
The controls, however, let's talk about that for a second. The controls, however, once again, to my surprise, are reinvented. They feel fresh. It feels like you haven't played the Spider-Man before. They added a new mechanism to the swinging, which made it feel different from all the other Spider-Mans, where you were able to swing from left to right, but they actually make it where you can do this physically. You actually have the left trigger for left side, left hand swinging, and you have the right trigger for the right hand swinging. So you can actually swing through a city just straight using your left hand or your right hand, which makes it feel more natural when you swing from left to right or right to left, or vice versa. So that gave it a whole new feel and refreshed the game a whole lot more. I thought it was dope seeing myself swing from roof to roof, from left to right, and actually see the camera shimmering over and swaying from left to right as well, making it feel like you actually are Spider-Man swinging from roof to roof. Great feature. Some of the features in the game, there's some cool features in the game. Being able to swing from left to right, as I said before. Using the camera that Peter Parker has to collect intel to open side quests or to advance stories. I thought that was pretty good. They've done it before, but they actually tweaked it to make it a little bit more better in this version. Another cool feature that I haven't seen in any of the Spider-Mans, at least not this well done, because there have been little iterations of this before. You can actually upgrade the costume that you're wearing. So every costume has different attributes and can be upgraded differently. So depending on what suit you wear the most and upgrade the most, you'll become more of a badass in that suit. I thought that was pretty cool. There's another new feature that they have in other Spider-Mans, but they actually emphasize it in this one, called Heroic Deeds. You can choose to do crime-stopping missions where in this game they actually applaud you for it and give you little cutscenes and animations where they report good things about Spider-Man to counteract all the stuff J. Jonah Jameson says about him. I thought that was pretty dope.
How about I take the guns? I don't think you guys are qualified to use them responsibly.
The graphics, let's talk about graphics because people care about graphics a lot nowadays. The graphics, however, once again, nothing bad to say here. They are impressive. They seem to improve since the first Amazing Spider-Man. The first Amazing Spider-Man wasn't a bad game to me, however, this one's better. Usually nowadays when they make a sequel to something, it's not as good as the first one, because if the first one wasn't this big success, they actually don't pump as much resources into it. And this one, they actually look like they revamped it and made it better, and they succeeded in making it a more better experience than the Amazing Spider-Man 1. If you played the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and you judged it as something negative, then you should try to, because they fixed a lot of the things you didn't like about 1. Boss battles, there's plenty of different bosses in this game. I won't get into the boss battles too much because then that's like spoiling it for you. I will say there's a huge variety of bosses in this game. Of course, there's bosses in this game that weren't in the movie, as I believe they didn't have access to the full entire script to give spoilers out. You'll enjoy the game, trust me. If you ever played any Spider-Man game and you liked a few of them or any of them, you'll like this one, because this one takes a lot of the good things from the other ones and put them back, and it went home, because they started to stray away with like things like Edge of Time and just a lot of the various different versions they had out. This one went back to that feel of like a cross between Web of Shadows and Spider-Man 3 to me, with a little bit of Amazing Spider-Man 1 mixed in, and I thought that was a good combination. So overall, I think you should enjoy the game. So overall, I have to give this game a 4 out of 5. This is Jimmy, and this is my Amazing Spider-Man 2 game review.